This is life story of Sri SriRam is outside Kishkinda and he is speaking to Tara, the wife of Bali. O Queen Tara, SriRam said, for whom are you lamenting? Is it for body or for consciousness? Body is lying in front of you. Can you stop it from rotting? Does consciousness die? Tell me, who was your husband, this inert body, or was the consciousness? O great master, Tara said, inconceivable are the ways of your illusioning energy. Your Maya has inconceivable way. Tara bowed down to Sri Ram, feeling relieved from lamentation, and said, without your compassion, beings, people cannot rise above the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, O merciful one, shower your mercy upon me. Sugriva, enmity ends with death. Please arrange for a kingly burial for Bali. Take the body to the cemetery, Sri Ram ordered Sugriva and all the assembled ministers of Kishkinda. The body was adorned with silk clothes and flowers. Whole city followed. As the body was taken to the cemetery on the bank of Tungabhadra river, a huge sandalwood fire was made and Bali's body was placed upon it. The body was adorned with beautiful flower garlands, and Prince Angad then kindled the fire, huge sky-touching flames arose reflecting on the holy waters of Tungabhadra river. Innumerable Vanaras were standing with tear-filled eyes, struck with wonder, but feeling full of detachment as they thought about the perishable nature of the transient body. Even such a powerful being as Bali dies, and does so helplessly what a fire teaches. None of the teachers can teach with 1,000 words that much a fire teaches, a simple fire. By your grace, my Lord, Sugriva is delivered from dangerous persecutions. Now please order Sugriva to enter the city so that Kishkinda can worship your highness with jewels and pearls glorifying its own history, said Sri Hanumanji to Sri Ram representing Sugriva and the assembled citizens of Kishkinda. I cannot enter any city until 14 years have passed, Sri Ram said, and turned towards his younger brother. O Laxman, you go into Kishkinda and with Sugriva and inaugurate the Abhishek ceremony. Enthrone him on the royal throne and make Angad his prime minister. My Lord Sugriva was losing his enthusiasm on learning of Sri Ram's intention. I am not going to be far from you during these 4 months of the rainy season, Sri Ram said, pointing to the beautiful hill with his finger. You go and rule the state following the regulative laws of principles of Sanatan Dharma. As soon as the autumn season comes, you may arrange for search of my beloved Sita, SriRam concluded, and he stood up and walked away. Extremely beautiful was that cave in the Malyavan hill of Mount Rishabuk. Due to its innumerable fountains, it was famous as Pravarshan mountain. It was full of red, black, brown slabs, but the part of the hill where SriRam made his residence was made of white coral and marble rocks. They were found scattered artistically, radiating a silvery shine all around. Sri Ram's marble cave was surrounded by various kinds of creepers with bright blossoming flowers scattering in all directions, decorating the cave, emitting their fragrant perfumes here, there, everywhere. Mangoes and banana trees and apple trees and orange trees and grapes and strawberries and various roots and herbs were abundant, inviting all to come and enjoy. As soon as the weather cleared, Laxman would go out and pick up some fruits and roots and fuels. At times, Sri Ram would accompany him in walking to some distant shining hill, or would sit on some coral slab near his cave. Many times Laxman would ask Sri Ram about various philosophies and yoga and Adhyatma Ramayana records a whole description of Kriya Yoga expounded by Sri Ram while he was sitting on such a coral slab. No action can be included in yoga, O Laxman, said Sri Ram. No action can be included in yoga unless it is the spontaneous eruption of a level of consciousness totally developed to the yearning for the absolute Divine Mother. It differs in system and structure according to one's natural attraction, either towards the unmanifest or an attributeless, or towards the manifest with attributes. These are all ways of her expressing herself through innumerable traditions. Look, Laxman, at the peacocks, how beautifully they are dancing to the tune of the rumbling and thundering clouds. In the same way, a householder who is naturally attracted to a detached style of life gets enraptured with joy and dances when an enlightened saint arrives at his home. A holy man, a wise man arrives at his home. But for me, Laxman, these thundering clouds are agonizing, unveiling sweet memories of my love, my beloved Sita. Oh, where could she be? Another time Sri Ram was telling Laxman, look at the lightning in the clouds. Can you conceive a bow Can you conceive of how the lightning comes so fast and then disappears, and then vanishes so fast? How? Lakshmana asked. Is the love of the shallow-hearted people does not has long love relationships, replied Sri Ram. Sri Ram constantly looked at the showering rain over the mountain and full of feelings asked, could you tell me, Laxman, how the mountain bears the blows of the drops of showering rain? Just like the devotees of Bhagavan bear the words of cynical and rascal-like beings without complaint, replied Lakshman. And then the crystal clear raindrops mingle with the dusty earth, they lose their cleanliness and they become muddy. This reminds me of pure consciousness when identified with the body, ego, and objects of the senses. It loses its original purity and becomes polluted. Wonderful! Sri Ram thanked his younger brother, but his eyes were fixed far beyond the hill and the ponds and, and, and lakes filled with trembling lilies and lotuses. From so many directions, water flows into the rivers, and now they are full of water. Could you tell me how this happens? To a pilgrim on the path of transcendental wisdom, all the good qualities and regulative principles and limbs of yoga in humanitarianism and patriotism, all these come and fill his entire being with absolute perfection. In the same way, the waters fill the lakes and ponds, Lakshman said, gazing at the same direction as his brother Sri Ram. And as all the swiftly flowing fountains of the mountain constantly flow and flow and flow, assuming the forms of rivers, which, when absorbed into the ocean, become steady, calm, and silent, attaining the state of oceanic consciousness. In the same way, restless, sensual, greedy people become absolutely calm and cool and blissful, oceanizing themselves in God consciousness. As they strolled along the forest path, Sri Ram said to Laxman, due to ever increasing trees and plants and growing grass, the plants and roads have become overgrown and invisible, just as in the downtrodden Iron Age in Kali Yuga. Vedic literatures and Vedic way of life disappear due to the alluring expansion of false and hypocritical sects and isms and missions and religions. Look, Lakshman, all the trees have been heightened by sprouting an abundance of fresh new leaves. In the same way, A meditator is heightened into a constant series of evolutionary experiences when his discriminating wisdom is awakened. SriRam suddenly saw a small, barren part of the hill and said, Laxman, even after these heavy torrents of rain, there is not a single blade of grass growing there. Isn't that strange? Really, it is like this sex and selfishness are everywhere, but they do not arise at all in God-intoxicated person or divine intoxicated searchers of absolute reality. Whenever a strong wind blows, the clouds wither away, where a wicked sun takes charge of the home, and long-standing family traditions are destroyed. At times there is sunlight, and other times deep darkness. Likewise, spirituality comes and goes as you associate with gentlemen or with wrong people, wicked people. Thus, the 4 months of rainy season passed away, along with its floating clouds, blowing winds, showering waters passed away. A heartful, a beautiful Atman entered the jungle and hills and dales spreading its splendor from horizon to horizon, just as when the fruits of pious actions and life become ripe, successful and prosperity flow, bringing additional waves of joy from all directions. In this way, lilies and lotuses and rose and marigold and night queens and jasmine bloomed all over, and bumblebees began to circumambulate, singing the glories of eternity. New kinds of fruit and roots and herbs were brought by Laxmanji for Sri Ram and dinner, my dear friends. A great lover of nature, Sri Ram, attracting the attention of Laxman, said, Do you see, Laxman, how the ponds and streams and rivers are adorned with crystal clear transparent water? How do they make you feel? And Lakshmanaji said, just like the heart of a saint, a holy man, a yogi, a bhakta, just as when spiritual aspirants evolve to higher and higher levels of consciousness and their attachments to possessions fall away one by one, is at the same time all great virtues and higher qualities fill the heart drop by drop, and it becomes like a pond of crystal clear water, making it an oceanic heart. And Sri Ram added, in times when there is a shortage of water, the ponds become shallow. Then the fish becomes lean and thin and full of anxiety. So also family people during moneyless times, during poverty, becomes anxious, become worried. And Sri Ram went on. The sky divided of clouds becomes so beautiful, just like the life of a yogi, life of a devotee, life of a karma yogi. becomes vast, all embracing and all encompassing by abandoning